return. That's what makes things hard sometimes, is finding the right people to help one another. So the first thing I want to say, why am I producing this content? It's not because I think that I'm so smart or I'm doing such an excellent job. It's because I need help achieving this goal. And I need help because, well, I want help, and so I'm willing to help. So in achieving ambitious goals, farming, the first thing I ask, why farming? I feel like I made the decision to farm because I felt like it was less risk, and it is very much needed, even though it's a frowned upon, it's not viewed as an honorable, a dignified labor or something to do, an industry to choose. And plus, most people frown on farming. They think it's hard. They think it's beneath them. And, I have trouble wrapping my mind around why people think that. And, from as early as I can think, I always wanted to farm. I liked agriculture. Well, let's just say I didn't call it farming. I was attracted to people who farm from a young age. And my parents would take me to visit relatives. So I feel like farming has been a part of my DNA. And, but my mom wanted me to be educated and, work some fancy job. So I did that for her. I spent 23 years doing that. And now I'm back to farming. I feel like farming is also the backbone of every culture. Less risk and high returns. Because right now farmers, they get a bad rap. Think about your food. Where does it come from? Who grows it? I think that falls under the category of food safety and security. But it seems like we are least concerned, and we are so trusting in a third party providing us one of our most important things. If you look at food as your medicine and medicine is your food, I think that's a Chinese proverb. So I think it's very important I think farming is very, very important. And I think too about the resources, people, land, and resources, and the notion that we are exploiting all of them. You talk about a society that goes from one extreme to the next. I needed me a stick. I got a stick, but I don't use it. But anyway, I'm gonna watch that thumb. So, if you take education, for example, are we really educating, or are we dumbing each other down? I won't delve into it, but I think you know the answer. Agriculture also gives power back to the people. Once we stop chasing the pipe dreams and get grounded, my idea is to show that you can accomplish more through agriculture. I'm about as lazy as anyone else. I'm just simply, I don't even want to do this. But I feel like I can be more beneficial by doing these videos as I see my fellow YouTubers, and there are some really talented people out there. I mean, talented people living off the grid, people coming up with all kinds of new ideas, innovation, and they put it on YouTube. And really, I feel like I have very little to give, but I'm told that I have some wisdom to share with everybody. And I'm wondering where that wisdom is, being I'm stuck out here in the woods. So, I'm compelled from inside to share this knowledge with you, whatever. I think I can share some I wouldn't be on here if I didn't think my information, my content could be of value to someone, anyone. As I learned from fellow YouTubers, really talented people, I feel inadequate, which causes me to be even more determined, more driven to accomplish my goals. How do I accomplish very ambitious goals? ambitious goals. You think about what is an ambitious goal. I think it's them goals that's hard to get to. I mean, it's easy to find your house and pay your utilities and go back and forth. I see that like a cow. But then you learn that there's travel, there's so many more forms of educating yourself. Why would you deny yourself other forms of education? You know, if you go to school for 12 years and you come out worse than you did when you went in, I think that's a problem. So, you know, my first goal, if I can remember right, is to, for ambitious goals, is to, I want to accomplish some things, and they're not things that are readily available. So that's what I determine or term an ambitious goal. It's not readily available. It's hard to reach. Am I perfect? No, not by a long shot. Matter of fact, you hear me say a lot of times, I really ain't worth you know that word. But my work speaks for me. I learned that from some friends. My work speaks for me. From where do I get these goals? I dream them up. I conceive them. I see a need, and I want to be an integral part of fulfilling those needs. What about everyone else? What about people? What about thinking what people think of me? You know, wanting to accomplish such ambitious goals, because I think that's what Humble Farm shares. You know, a lot of other people they share growing information. I'm not too sure if I'm qualified, but in a sense of growing together, making a community, I think I'm most qualified. So, what does anyone think? Well, I would say I am task and or mission oriented. So that disregards what they, I think of a pretty global level. I've never been really a small thinker. I don't know why, but I thought outside the box. Caring, I care. So the things that I dream, I care about them. I'm passionate about it. I really think, oh man, why are we going this way when we should be going that way? Or when this way is an easy way to do it. And I've been very successful at that. I've saved a lot of people's lives. I was in the military, on the river, on the ocean, and then I volunteer for, well, I just keep myself in some kind of adventurous situation where I see a lot of accidents. I see some accidents. Caring, when you participate in problem solving, then you'll understand better. Why do you need a machine with 7,400 horsepower? How was more accomplished with less? You know, in the past, we accomplished much more with less. Now we make, just for example, a machine at 7,400 horsepower, and it propels stuff up and down the ocean. Other people, well, I'm task-oriented, I mentioned that. My greatest challenge is myself. It's even for these videos, it's a challenge for me not to feel arrogant and to make sure I produce some content that's valuable, that's balanced. So, and even, you know, I have issues. I have medical issues, relationships issues, failing to take action issues. And I find it hard to strike a balance in a world of extremes. Then there are long-term versus profit margins. So rather than do something that's beneficial to our society long-term, we'll choose it because it makes quick profits. Okay, food, people, land, resources. People, land, and resources. Something I learned from listening to Ken Honda, he talks about priming your mind to let go of limiting beliefs. Why is that important? Because, in the community in which I grew up, it was very depressing. I was a young child, and as a young child, I was very ambitious, but no one wanted to be bothered with me and my ambitions at that time. Now, I've exceeded the expectations of most of my family members. And really, they still don't give a rap. But, it is. For example, just yesterday, there was a photo op conducted at Humble Farm Refuge. And it was done for a proposed magazine article that I wrote the day before. I won't say too much about it until the article and the photos are published. But yes, there was a magazine that was very, very interested in producing an article, publishing an article in their magazine featuring Humble Farm Refuge. And guess what? Guess who? Me. So we had a great time yesterday talking about the same things that we are talking about now and the need for agriculture. Okay, we won't go into that. Then the other part of where your ideas come from, it comes from your intuition. And following your intuition helps you build confidence. It causes you to create values aligned with your decisions. Value-aligned decisions that guide you toward true happiness and freedom. And then within you is an abundance of wealth hidden within your relationships you create and creating meaningful connections. Most of the time, meaningful leads to true prosperity. And just little things. Yesterday, I carried a pizza to a new acquaintance and enjoyed pizza on their balcony, chatting. It's just the little things. People, it's one of the things I talk about when I do my farm tours. I'll show you the little slave house again. How we mistreated one another. How could you be a people and mistreat each other the same way? Native Americans, African Americans, Chinese Americans. Hell, we about done screwed over. Hello, fat people, skinny people, LGBT community. I mean, it is just extreme. It's out of control. Okay. Right now on the farm, I am dealing with the remnants of Hurricane Helene. And as you can see, people think I don't do anything. Oh, all right, don't do nothing. But I've cleared this area off, and I've got me firewood rack started with, I've talked about in a previous video. Then really, I'm going to be working on the other side of my farm today. I really want to get this camera and pick up and show you that I am really, really working to clear up the aftermath, I want to say disaster, the debris, devastation of Hurricane Helene. The landscape never will be the same. And prior to Hurricane Helene, 4 years I've been here as of January. And in those 3 years, I spent all that time clearing those trails. I call them walking trails / nature trails. And now they are literally impassable. The trees are laying everywhere. And, I don't have to do that. But I see if I want those trails back, and I don't know what those trails are how they're going to benefit me. But I do visualize, just as I visualized before in creating those walking trails, that there are going to be another station on my farm that I can enjoy and that other people can enjoy. And in creating these things, I say if you build it, they'll come. So what used to be nice walking trails, perimeter fence, firewood yard, are now littered with these trees and debris. Who cares? What will I do? What will it become? And will I profit? That's a dangerous question. The last one is a dangerous question. I know I'm going to prosper because just even with my health, and being able to do it. There's some satisfaction in doing things and seeing them taking on a mission like clearing out all those trees. It's not like I got somebody to come in here and help me and, oh boy, we having a great time moving debris. I've got 10 acres of debris needs to be removed. I mean, big 18 to 24 inch in diameter trees need to be cut and cleared. So with that, that's a very ambitious goal. And you'll see more of how I get along there. Then I'm also working on installing a well and irrigation to my 3-acre garden, market garden. So yeah, you're going to see, whether I'm able to accomplish these very ambitious goals or not. But the most important thing to glean from this little short video is that I need your help, and I hope that what I'm saying inspires you in some way to do what you can to help. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And until the next video, I like to try to label them too where I can find them. And I call this one Humble Farm Achieving Ambitious Goals, January 2025. Thank you.